Hello, my dear friends. This is Anastasia from the hardest days of my life. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's facing persecution. Or maybe you're in a death row, maybe you're going to prison, maybe you're just losing a loved one. But if you're suicidal or in a border of so much hurt and pain that you're about to go shoot somebody, like we had quite a few aggression episodes in America, please watch this video as not necessary, absolutely not necessary to express your pain and suffering in that way. I know how you feel and I can speak to you because I've been through all of this and more. Maybe not on a death row, but as a mother, as a loving mother, I have been brutally stripped of my children, brutally separated, accused, abused, raped, tortured, and now going to prison, and also very sick, fighting with chronic Lyme and many diseases. But I still can be grateful. I still can radiate love, and I'm super excited to be here with you, because together in the next little while, if you stick with this, your experience will change, your life, your state will get transformed. So not for the ratings, but just for you and me, just comment and let me know how this energy and knowledge transformed your life. God, please send our angels to be with us, and please let my angels communicate with yours wherever you are. But all will be okay. I don't know if you noticed, I have a mask on my sweatshirt. I don't wear a lot of fashion merchandise, but this is actually Gucci sweatshirt, and I bought it because it's so prophetic. It's actually not new season. It's was designed in 2018-19 before COVID, and the message of it is that life is a theater. We are on stage. We are all wearing masks in this life, as what we are is just beautiful particles of love, of source, of God. And for us to play our roles of victor and victim, abuser and abused, and corrupt policeman, and suffering single mom, we have to put on masks. We have to separate our essence of love on this planet and put on a mask and play our roles on this planet. So that's why I love this, and I love the message. I think on the back it has the message they got from the Greek theater from thousands of years ago about the roles that we play. So what is your role on this planet, and what does it have to do with you suffering now and being so upset because somebody out there is just making your life miserable? Well, again, it's all a stage. Imagine if we all knew who we are, if we all knew we're like godly love essence, we all connected, we all love each other. Anything I do to you, I do it to myself, and if we all knew that in the end of our experience, we're like, ta-da, this person killed me, this person, did this to me. In the end, it was, in your experience, it was a self-directed play. So it'd be so funny if director of a movie went into this movie, self-played every role in this movie, or asked his friends to participate and play certain roles in that movie, and then in the end got so involved and said, oh my gosh, you were the one who killed this person there, you were the one who stole this, you're the one who did this awful thing, the whole story went bad because of you, and you destroyed my life. It'll be so funny, right? Because it's just a movie. It's just theater, but it's so convincing. It seems so true, but in the end, really, it's just you and I directing our own script, so to speak. We have co-created the script with the council of wise beings in between our lives. And how do I know that? Well, I've done a lot of learning, a lot of soul searching in my awful, I guess, very, very advanced learning experience on this planet. I have also done regressions in past life and met with my council of elders to understand the horrendous reality I am experiencing and have been experiencing on this planet. And apparently, the harder your life is, the more overachiever you are. Because if you're average level soul that's maybe just developing, they're not gonna give you a hard life, and they're not gonna send you out to be a champion of changing and fighting for women's rights, so that mothers like me, after I am suffering and have suffered this, will never be put to prison for traveling with their children or alleged overstaying vacation, so that ex-husbands could never torture their wives and win custody cases by just filing bullshit in every court. So guys, if you're suffering, if you're in a bad situation, maybe you think you have done something horrible, you know what, it's just we all do that. We all change roles. In some of our lives we have to do suicide, one of our lives we have to kill somebody, one of our lives we have to get shot. It's like apparently we have to experience all this crap. So please don't judge yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. We all are just playing a role, and the director of this experience is, of course, the Council of Elders, the great love, God energy, but you were also part of this, and you were selecting from different roles, different lives you could have picked, so you are kind of co-creator here. And if you're here suffering, you must have said, oh yeah, I'm tough enough, I can go through this, I can help others, I can elevate others from my experience. So this is why I'm freaking suffering for so many years. But I think now that it's become unbearable, I've awakened and see clearly that this is just a narrative, a matrix, an illusion, exciting drama. I never go to the movie theater because I have enough freaking drama in my own life. So seriously, I never go to movie theater to watch anything. The only thing I watch is educational videos. And if you're really suicidal, if you're really hard and you're wondering is what Anastasia is saying is true, maybe search ND radio stories on YouTube, ND near-death experiences radio shows. They have, I think, association IANDIS, something, Association of Near-Death Experiencers, and that's the people who died, but their life mission, their theater, their screenplay was not finished. So they die, and then they meet their council of elders or greeters or guides saying, hey, you're not done yet. You have to go finish your life. If you want to stay, if you insist on staying in heaven, spirit world, okay. But then you'll have to go back, start from scratch, be born again, go through all the bullshit of puberty and childhood and crazy psycho parents. And a lot of people are like, no, I don't want to do this again. I just want to go back and do a lot of things that I can now. And then, of course, you can't do everything in one life. I guess we do thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives, but eventually it's over. I was told many times, different sources, this is it for me. So if I suffer through this, okay, and do my part in elevating the vibrations of the world, including yours, then I don't have to come back again. So I'm not here for the likes. I'm here so I don't have to come back to this ridiculous illusion of dream that seems so real, yet it's not. And guys, I don't know how about you, but I feel my spirit guides, my angels, they're like somebody. Since I'm very sick, okay, but I keep fighting and keep hoping we'll figure it out. I have like diagnosis that goes for like pages, but anyways. So this one medium was saying, "Oh, and Anastasia, I see your angels are sitting with you on the couch, working on the computer, watching YouTube educational videos." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's where I spend a lot of time." So they're with me on the couch, researching different medical studies, medical conferences. That's what I have to do because I've been sick 5 years and been to 150 doctors and nothing. The only progress I'm making is when I study something out and then I demand like from 10 doctors, please order this, order this, order this. Finally they order, yeah, that's right. Okay, congratulations. Systemic candidiosis in addition to chronic Lyme, in addition to chronic mycoplasma pneumonia, in addition to this. Great, and nobody knows how to treat any of this, and then I have to go search. Okay, but for example, I usually go to police, the labs, doctors. Life isn't that very exciting. So I'm on my way once to the lab the other day, and I lock the door, and the key falls out from my hand. Doesn't happen very often. No, it doesn't. Maybe once a year that I drop the key out of my hand locking the door. So I'm thinking, okay, there must be a reason. Guides are telling me something. So a thought goes through, you may be forgetting something. I'm thinking with my ego and my mind, no, I'm got my paperwork, got my ID, got the money. But yet I learned to trust my guides. So I unlock the door. I step back in the apartment, and then the thought finally comes through. You're forgetting the samples of saliva samples in the fridge. Okay, so yes, it's not the end of the world. It would just be very frustrating to not have all the samples I need for my lab tests. But I could have brought them in another day, could have redone, could have woken up at 8 o'clock and done my cortisol saliva test, right? But even in a small thing like that, the guides are saying, hey, go back, do this. Or even today, like we couldn't get any blood from my vein, and we needed like so much blood to do like, I don't know, 150 different tests that I had to research, and they couldn't get the blood. And I'm like fainting because I'm just scared of this whole, blood and medicine. Psychologically, I'm scared, but I have to do it. And I just had to pray that archangels would be there and hold my hand. And that's after, the laboratory told me that they couldn't even do my test today because their courier was leaving or left or something. They're not very easy to work here in France. So I already thought they're kicking me out, and I had to pray so hard to get my archangels to step in and get them to help me. And then when I finally got into the to the cabinet to see the nurse to draw the blood, they couldn't get them in. It was too small, and I guess after all my blood tests and IV, they just couldn't get any blood. And I asked my archangels to help, and they helped. So this is very little thing, very little. So imagining your big things, they're always around you to help you. But if they help you too much, if it becomes too easy, then what's the point, right? So here's the most important question you ask. If there's a God, if all of this is an illusion, Why the little children suffering? Why are the innocent mothers being tortured? Why children dying from lack of nourishment, right? Why there's so much suffering, including COVID? And the answer is, for one, to awaken you so you can become incredibly more advanced, stronger. But two is the contrast. Everything out there in the spirit world is love, light, abundance. But how would you? I love to enjoy the silence. And the universe always sends me in every apartment I go to. There's always construction above, below, like at 8 o'clock they start drilling. And so that's not enough. Outside, during the daytime, there's something, they're excavating palm trees and trimming palm trees. At night, they're digging roads, and right in front of my building, not anywhere down the street further, not anywhere the other direction, not anywhere in the city, but would be always be under my windows. And I moved about 5 or 6 times this year because I never know when it's time for me to go to prison, or if God is getting me to finally liberate myself. And again, I'm not a criminal. I have an allegation of an overstay on vacation with my children, which apparently in America, it's still a crime for the mother to overstay on vacation if she's alleged and called criminal by ex-husband, who's so motivated to call the ex-wife anything just to control the children. But anyways, I even forgive my ex because in the end I probably co-created this and asked my ex-husband to be the villain, and asked my parents to be the absolute monsters that one can imagine, and asked my friends to turn away from me so that I can experience being completely alone under brutal attack from a government and corrupt police and awful things, completely alone, so that I could experience what fear feels like, what is the feeling of being abused and being so misunderstood and manipulated and misjudged and not given an opportunity. I'm not even given an opportunity for a trial or to be called innocent before trial. They already made me sit here under arrest 16 months. They already had me go through the brutal loss of my children and not letting me even text my children or see them. And now they want me to go to prison again before the trial. So if you guys are not in America and thinking of going to America, it's not any better than wherever you are. Wherever you have family history, where you have the land of your forefathers, enjoy it, okay? Because everything this freaking planet is a matrix, an illusion, and America is an illusion of that American dream. It doesn't exist. But whatever your scenario is, if let's say you're misunderstood in Africa, you're gonna be misunderstood in America. So it's like no escaping that until you learn that lesson. So this is that main answer that I feel came from the right sources, including a lot of years, people who came from, dying and were sent back, but had this amazing opportunity to tap into the universe in full knowledge and had answers to all their questions. And it's also something I feel deeply about. We are here to experience the contrast so we could appreciate the silence, appreciate the love because we felt the lack of it, appreciate the white because our life was so messed up. Some of us don't have the zebra life, some of us just have pitch black lives. And if you do, you are probably on one of your last incarnations, or you're the master, super master that just came here to help and teach. And so your life may be pitch black until you awaken and go do your purpose of coming here. Remember, guys, the Avatar, the movie, when the American soldiers were translating or transcending his mental signal and operating the body on the planet. That's kind of what's going on. We're in this matrix illusion world, and our soul out there is very much awake. But our portion of the soul here, it could fit in this body, because my soul is huge, your soul is huge too. Whatever it could fit in this body, it doesn't remember. There's blocks set up in our brain to prevent seeing what's going on, to prevent remembering your past lives and your true mission here. And it's set up for a purpose, because if we didn't have the blocks of our brain, we would not learn anything new, because it'll be like open book test. What's the point of studying for an open book test? No point. So we went through why we have so much pain and suffering. And by the way, those little children that are dying, they're not little children. They are very, very advanced souls that millions and millions of years. And they have picked to experience that, to give an experience to, let's say, their mother or the parents, the grief, the loss, the experience, the abuser, the abused, and then their roles are changed maybe in different lives. Sometimes we make an agreement with our friends and our soul group on the other side. Hey, would you be the villain this time? I'll be your wife, you'll abuse me, put me in prison, steal my kids, make me suffer, turn everybody against me, work with corrupt government against me. Okay, next life, I'll try to do something to hurt you so that you can experience what it feels like. It's not like even another person wants to do it. I think nobody wants to hurt anybody. We all have love inside because we're all connected. But for this very big reason of experiencing things, and some of it, of course, is greater, that we're not capable of even understanding why the suffering and pain and experiences are so needed, but they're needed. Once we're out of this shell, we will see it clearly. Right now, we can put a lot of trust in God, but as we are awakened, we see it clearly, more clearly, to the point where they hold your hands when you do your blood tests, or put you in contact with the people that you need to be in contact with that you couldn't imagine. Like, I couldn't get an infectology disease doctor here for 16 months, but when I finally said, hey, I'm gonna go to the hospital, and when no, they tell me they are too busy for me, and I'm gonna at least talk to infectologists, even for 1 minute, and just say, please, hello, I need help. I understand you have a lot of people suffering from COVID, but I have been suffering for 5 years. Can I finally get some help? And never been to Cannes Hospital, went there to do some other things, and they needed to do almost cutting to the completely dangerous COVID section. Thank God I did not. And there was people on my way giving me directions, and somehow in this foreign hospital in foreign language, out of a sudden I walk down the hall, and there's a man standing there speaking to a colleague, and I'm like, by any chance, do you have any idea where this Dr. Vasallo is? I really need to speak to him, can't reach him for many months. And of course, it was the doctor. It was the doctor, and the chances of it being his shift and him working and not being in a locked up COVID section because he's a COVID doctor, and to be out in the hall in exactly the same wing of the hospital where I was, there waiting for me. What are the chances? It's like the spirit guides set up everything that we're supposed to have, right? Still haven't had a rendezvous or appointment with him, but I keep praying. If I'm meant to get some help, I will get some help. So where does it put us? If you're suffering from injustice, from being a victim, from the abuse, from the parents that never loved you or maybe gave you up, from your adoptive parents that maybe were torturing you. I've heard the story of another day of how one India kept being suffocated by the foster mom because that was her form of interaction. She was controlling the children by suffocating them to death. Or maybe your spouse or your kids are getting you to the point of suicide or aggression. Just please remember that you are the co-creator of those experiences. You created them to give you an opportunity to learn, to help you become the contrast of that. Because my parents were zero at love, and even now they say, hey, I'm your daughter, I'm going to prison in a few days. I haven't even had a chance for trial, and I'm already under arrest for 16 months. Can you at least tell me that you love me? Or can you at least say something nice other than F you and you should be in a cage? That's what I hear from my mom, who obviously has a lot of issues. You know, all I get back is hatred and abuse, and that's what I have picked. But because I have such a hateful human as my mother and my father, who are incapable of love, and maybe love for them is beating a child or abusing them verbally, I have become a great mom who loves her children, who helps them learn, who helps them succeed no matter where they are and what circumstances. So it's kind of a paradigm. You know, if a child sometimes grows up in this perfect family, they don't learn anything, and you know, then the next thing you hear about, they're in a drug deal or went some wrong way because they never had that contrast or learning opportunity. So if you were in this awful situation, congratulations, you've done something right before. Okay, so maybe you've done something wrong before too. Maybe you are in prison and maybe there is a reason for it. Maybe there is not. I know that a lot of innocent people are forced into prison by all this bullshit plea deals and government bonuses for just sending people with a verdict. It's awful. They sell our souls just to get their bonuses. But whatever it is, it's done now. And you can realize it's all just illusion, a dream, a theater, a play. It will be over very soon. But before it's over, we can take the opportunity of wherever we are and elevate everybody else. We can share that love for a child. If we were abused as a child, we can give love to somebody else, right? We can help somebody else awaken their soul and say, hey, watch some of the Anastasia videos or watch some of the NDE experience YouTube videos like Anita Morgiani, or I love to hear Ritu Le Boeuf, French name but American apparently, NDE radio, just amazing. Elevate your spirits, help somebody else, and realize that all of this is just an illusion. You're never a victim. You're always the creator of this experience. You're co-creator. You participated in this. And you might as well get it done because you're like almost to the finish line. Maybe today is the turning point, like the hardest day of your life. And you can say, okay, I've got the lesson. I'm done. Now, scenario changes. As soon as you get the point, it changes. It's kind of like a dream. You're chased and chased and chased by some monster in a dream, right? But as soon as you turn around, face the monster and say, okay. Or, you know, some people start praying in a dream. I've done that. Or like, okay, whatever, you know, what's up, monster? All of a sudden, the monster becomes loving pet, cat, dog, whatever, loving dragon you want to fly around with, or your friend, and there's no more monster. The same in this life. We visualize this monster, we're afraid of something. We sit and we think, oh, what if this happens? Or what if, I don't know, I get beaten up or killed, whatever, in prison. So what? I'm an eternal being, right? But maybe I'll elevate somebody's spirits. Maybe I'll waken somebody up in that prison by just holding my vibration of love and divine nature and respect for another human soul and life and care, because so many of us just don't even have that basic love and appreciation and care. So your life starts today in a new light. And if you comment, that'll be really awesome, because then I feel I've done something right. And if you don't hear from me, I may be stuck in prison in the flipping Paris and then Salt Lake City, Utah. So ask those Mormons, ask them, hey, what are you doing with this single mom, Anastasia? Just because she was born in Russia does not make her a criminal. And just because you give out bonuses or it's politically popular to abuse Russians, not people should not be persecuted for their origin of birth, their religion beliefs, their race, their practice of religion. And I guess that's the other problem. I'm not the predominant religion in Utah, so to them I'm like the black sheep. So pray for me, and if I don't respond, check my Instagram, Anastasia_1111, and write to the congressman. There's Congressman Chris Stewart. I wrote in Utah asking for just help, get me due process. Why am I not given an opportunity to defend myself? Why am I not given an opportunity to even refute the crazy allegations in the first place? How do you take a person and just make them guilty, indict them without even asking them, hey, is any of the stuff this person says maybe wrong? How would you feel if somebody said, well, Biden is a rapist and his kid killed like 15 people in Ukraine, which is, I've heard awful stories of what Biden family did in Ukraine, but I haven't given Biden an opportunity to respond to those stories, right? So am I going to go around and say that Biden's family are rapists, murderers, and drunk drivers, killing people in Ukraine and then paying police off? No, I don't know. So why does somebody just takes notes on what an ex-husband says I did or didn't do and just puts me under arrest and in prison? Beyond normal, beyond. So when I'm out of this ridiculous situation, I will be doing my best to champion the cause, to change the messed up laws of the United States, because no other country in the world would take a mother, listen to whatever her accuser says, and throw her in prison for some alleged vacation overstay or alleged kidnapping of your own children or whatever they say. You have to give both sides an opportunity to say, no, here's clear facts. What are you talking about? The guy's just trying to solve custody at the cost of United States government. Very, very economical when you just say, hey, here's a criminal, go abuse them, go put them in prison, go execute them. And nobody verifies anything. They just, oh yeah, she was born in Russia, it must be so bad. Oh, she's not our Mormon religion, must be a witch, let's burn her. Come on. So if anybody out there has connections with the government or somebody who can help us to change the laws in our messed up country where it's okay to kill people apparently at the traffic stop and put innocent mothers before even a chance for trial in prison, and even with the trial, which country punishes mothers for giving birth to children and raising them? If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even have those American citizens' children that I have carried and suffered and raised. So whoever has a soul and a voice, please join me in this cry out for the change of American bullshit, corruption, laws and environment. It has to change. It can be religious absolutism. In ancient medieval England, there was a king, King Henry VIII. Anybody knows the story? He wanted a divorce because he got this beautiful, pretty lover on the side who was demanding to be the queen. But there was no divorce in the Roman Catholic Church, at least for the king. So what do you do? I think he went two ways. He sent her to prison and tortured her for being, I guess, a witch, or he said she was not practicing religion. So he sent her away, and even then, the court was not supporting his decision. So what did he do? He decided he's going to start a new religion. The Church of England was created. So I guess I am that first wife that was in the way, so I'm sent away to prison and torture so that the ex can take over the custody. That's religious absolutism. It's not democracy. Now what is he going to do to the second wife? If I am the Catherine of Aragon sent to prison, what's going to happen to the next wife? From what I remember, it was a guillotine. I wouldn't wish that on his new wife, even though she participated in my abuse and persecution. I would not wish death, and suffering on anyone. I really hope America will start being a true democracy and not absolutism, not medieval torture, not witch hunt, and religious persecution and killing people in the corner and kneeling on people's necks. It has to stop. So this was Anastasia. I love you. Please breathe. And if you have no energy to do anything else, just get through another day. Just breathe. Turn on the TV if you have a TV, or a computer, watch some in the ears. If you have nothing, just go hug a tree. Universe loves you. It's all a dream. It's surreal. It's bullshit. That's why I'm saying, even if you've done something wrong, it's okay. Of course, you want to repent. You don't want to do it again. But all of us, every one of us, we've been here so many times. We all have to go experience all those crazy things. And I've seen some crazy dreams where I thought it was so real, and oh my gosh, my life is over, and you think it's so real in a dream, and then you wake up, and that's how it would feel like when you wake up, and you're like, so nice, it's over. So I love you. Survive in this wonderful illusion matrix, and please pray for me so I get my liberty, I get my justice, and I get to see my children that I miss and I love so much. You're Anastasia _1111. Anastasia, ANASTAZIA _1111 on Instagram. Bonne journée.